Hello, YouTube. It's Wednesday night, June 7th, 2023, 10:14 p.m. Oh, well, I slept really good. So there's that. Priscilla managed to disappoint me in a big way today. I feel like a fool for even getting my hopes up and letting her do it. I should have just continued to ignore her as I've been ignoring her. And now that I'm talking about that, I don't even know if I really want to talk about that. And I don't want to listen to Chad Benson anyway, either. Yeah, I still question the programming of KTAR of having Gatos and Chad, which is not the Chad Benson show, but it's still like, 4 or 5 hours of Chad Benson, followed by the Chad Benson show. Like, that's entirely too much Chad Benson. I like the programming of this radio station a whole lot better, like 8 years ago. God, has it been that long? Back when it was Mac Watson and Gatos in the afternoon, and I forget the name of the couple that used to do. It was a guy and a woman. I say couple. I don't think they were a couple in that respect, but a guy and a woman that did the midday show. And it was Darren Dammy that did the night show. That lineup. Same morning guy that got down. Love Arizona's Morning News with Jim Sharp. I'm so glad that's still on and relatively unchanged. But yeah, boy, that's a lineup where I was just like listening to KTAR just all the time. I'm really happy with it. Not that I didn't listen to music on occasion as well. This isn't music, it's just some guy going blah 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 blah. Can we get some music on? Not that. I can hang with Chicago. I really need to get some kind of real stereo in this car. This thing's just having a radio that has a clock that can't even keep time is miserable. I do love this song though. I should sing this one. I don't think I've ever tried singing this one. Oh, I can't sing this high though. Anyway, where was I? Yeah, KTAR back then, used to listen to it just all the time. I mean, Dave Ramsey, take it or leave it. If I'm in the mood for it, I'll listen to it. If I'm not, I'm not. And of course, it was redundant. They had the Dave Ramsey during the middle of the, after the midday show, before the afternoon show, and then they would repeat that same thing in the evening. So, I mean, kind of hit and miss on that. I feel like the overnight schedule's kind of been the same. Anyway, not sure why I'm talking about KTAR other than then I came out to my car and hearing Chad Benson, and I'm just tired of hearing Chad Benson. And what was he talking about? Mike Pence announcing his bid for presidency. Does anybody give a fuck about that? I mean, seriously, is there anybody that would actually vote for Mike Pence for president? Yeah, of course, nobody. Absolutely nobody. I mean, I hear Mike Pence talk, and I can smell the mayonnaise. There's just nothing there. There's a whole lot of nothing there. God, they've been playing this song out lately on the various oldies station. I mean, I like that song, but I don't need to hear it every day. Steve Winwood. I actually got this album on 8-track. This is from Back in the High Life again. Great album. Refurbished this 8-track a couple of years ago. And the sound quality of this one is amazing. Like, sometimes 8-tracks I refurbish them, they sound good. You know, they sound okay. But this one sounds exceptional. On that note, I don't want to hear that song. Coffee. Is there going to be any music on the radio I'm in for? Probably not. AWSS? No. I can hang with this. Somewhere I lost the old school throwback hip-hop station off my presets, and it doesn't ever seem to come across when I'm scanning the dials. And I forget what frequency they're on, but maybe they're gone. If so, that's a bummer. Yep. Let's see if we can get a gap to get out of that exit-only lane. So I've spent the last way too much amount of time editing what is going to be the next video that I post. I shot way too much video yesterday. My head was in not a good place. I'm feeling a lot better today, in spite of the letdown that Priscilla was today. You know, when I shot the video on the way to work this morning, I did mention that Priscilla had contacted me. You know, and I think where I went wrong is I kept going back to Snapchat. And I know that whenever you go to Snapchat, depending on how the person has their settings, and by the default setting, which I think is probably what most people on Snapchat have, at least old people like myself, Priscilla, when a person that's in your friend list goes to Snapchat and they look at your conversation, just trying to like reread what you had wrote them, or view a picture that, in this instance, view a picture that you've sent them again. It puts a pop-up push-through message on their phone that you're typing. So I probably made a whole buttload of those come up on her phone during my first break at work and during my lunch break. So it would have been, let's see, first break is at, I think I'd have my schedule down, but I really don't yet. I have to count the hours. So I get there at 5, I have a 10-minute break at 7, and a 30-minute unpaid lunch at 9, which is really frustrating because I have almost no cell service there. They don't have Wi-Fi for employees, which to me is, it's, you know, I'm finding myself less and less enamored with that job. And don't get me wrong, I like the actual job. I like what I'm doing. I like most of the people I'm working with. It's a good work environment. For the most part, I'm just left the fuck alone, which is great. I just kind of do my thing. Every now and then, like, somebody asks me to help them with something, or I might need help with something, but it's not very often I need help with anything these days. Every now and then somebody comes by and asks how I'm doing with whatever, you know, and they all seem to be just really glad that I'm taking to what I'm doing, and I'm doing it well, and that I'm a very detail-oriented person, and kind of as I'm putting things, you know, stowing furniture away, I'm also kind of correcting things that other people did kind of sloppily, that I'm going along and correcting it, and generally making the warehouse more orderly as far as like how the stock is put away, which is all ordered. Everything that's there is not, it's not like stock waiting to be ordered. Everything that's there has been ordered by someone. As opposed to where I'm working with an algorithm that's trying to predict where things are going to get ordered from and get it to those locations. Everything in our warehouse is already, I don't know where it's coming from, but it's already been ordered by somebody in Arizona. And now eventually we're going to be the national distribution hub. Now whether we stay with this company long enough for that to happen remains to be seen. But so since everything is going to somebody, I'm very diligent about, as things come over, and I've explained, like I'm bringing these big kind of unstable pallets over from where they unload the trucks by hand, and just kind of make sure everything is there and accounted for and received and into the inventory system, and then they kind of haphazardly pile them on these big pallets, or on dressers. That's another thing. Dressers are kind of their own thing. And although sometimes they'll pile other things on dressers, which is odd. I like this song. Anyway, they'll so initially I'm bringing all that stuff over and scanning it to the end caps. Now, when I bring something over, I'll immediately stow it. Like, especially if it's a dresser by itself. Like, it just doesn't make sense to put it in the end cap when I can just go ahead and put it away. It's one item by itself. Why? And it's an item that can be awkward to get on my forks. So why put it on my forks to move it once, just go back later and awkwardly put it on my forks again and move it again. Like, just take it where it's going. It's not that much farther. It doesn't take that much work. Like it may slow me down a little bit on bringing everything out of the inbound to the end caps, but ultimately, yeah, it just gets it where it needs to be quicker. So anyway, when I go to these big pallets of end caps, I'm going through all the adjacent pallets, and I'm looking. Look at that weird gap right there. Apparently have your taillights or your headlights on. Following another Arizona driver with no lights, it appears. Oh yeah, no, we're doing it again. Why is it so hard for Arizona drivers to turn on their lights when they drive at night? All right, we got a guy weaving it out of traffic speeding. I'm gonna follow the guy with no lights because that just amuses me to no end. You guys appear to have daytime running lights on. It's possible. That's an old enough car. It's possible his taillights are burned out. It doesn't look to be from the era of LED lights. Actually, yeah, that's the situation because his left one is on and super dim. Oh yeah, no, his headlights are on. Yep, nope, that guy just is unaware that his taillights are burned out. All right, good times. So, I lost nothing like a vehicle on the road with no lights to make me lose my train of thought. So, I need to get out of this lane. It's about to be an exit on the lane. I'm moving this guy over to pass me. All right, more riffraff on the right. I'm not sure if that's an area pedestrians are supposed to be at or not. Anyway, when I go through those things, I'm looking at all the labels and who the customer is. Now, the customer can be, as I explained before, the customer can be an actual customer with an address in Arizona getting their furniture delivered, or it could be a retailer. We do provide furniture for retailers, which on my end, it doesn't matter who the customer is. Everything from a specific customer needs to be grouped together because when they get shipped, they're going to get shipped together. And the people that are going around picking orders are trying to find everything. So if we've got 10 items for a given customer, if it ends up going to 10 different places, that's a whole lot of time that gets wasted by the guy picking the order trying to find those 10 different items. Whereas if all those 10 items are located in the same place, that speeds that along much quicker. Gets the trucks loaded much quicker. But it seems like most of the guys that are doing the stowing like I am, they just want to get it done. So they'll take a pallet, one of those big pallets, and they might grab like the biggest things off of it, and then they'll take that whole thing and then just go down an aisle with it and just shove everything in all where they can. Even things that are really too heavy to be on the bottom shelf, they'll just put them on the bottom shelf just to be done with it. And I find myself often taking those things and putting them on pallets like they should be and putting them up in the racks. But yeah, they're making no effort to find, to see, hey, are there multiple things to the same customer, group that all together and put it in the same place. So my stuff's getting done quicker, but the management and the people that are like, that all they do is pick orders, have seen that I'm doing that, and it's saving them time and hassle, and overall just, so even though it looks like I'm working slower, I'm doing the work I'm doing slower than other people are doing that kind of work, but I'm doing it in such a way that it makes everything down the line from me go faster, and then ultimately, less time to do the work of basically getting it from the docks on one side of the building to the docks on the other, the inbound docks on one side of the building and outbound docks on the other side of the building. So, and I wasn't going to be talking about my job, because my job is boring to everybody but me. But anyway, God, I lost my train of thought completely. What was I going to say about that? I had a good day at work today. Nothing particularly exceptional, other than I did finally talk to Veronica about me coming in earlier than 5, and she said that that's not a thing, which is funny because according to Joe it is a thing, but apparently it won't be a thing for me. She did say that if it becomes an option, that she would be, would let them know that I'm interested in it, had let them know that I'm interested in it, and when it becomes an option for me, she'll let me know. I'm like, okay, great. And I told her that kind of what my problem is that while I'm making more money per hour, I've actually taken a pretty, it feels like it's going to be a pretty sizable income cut in taking this job. Because while I'm making more per hour, I don't have all the benefits that Amazon have, and that's kind of hard to put a dollar figure on. So let's just not even think about that for the moment. But just a straight up paycheck, what I'm making a week, less. The only overtime that's available for me, and that's assuming I make it through the whole week and work everything that I'm scheduled, which so far hasn't happened, because it's such a rough schedule for me, and I've got other things that I need to do that is requiring me to take time off. Most notably, the next thing I got coming up is a court date. The most overtime I can get in a week at this place is 8 hours. So generally speaking, the minimum overtime, in fact, more often than not, mandatory overtime that I got at Amazon was 10 hours. So right there, I'm losing 2 hours, and it's only 8-hour shifts, 8 hours that I'm working a day. Whereas at Amazon, it was 10 hours. And while my hourly rate is lower, or is higher at this new job than what it was at Amazon, I made more money in a 10-hour day at Amazon than I'm making a 10-hour, an 8-hour day here. So what I make per day is less. And the reality is it's nothing. Those 2 hours aren't doing anything for me. Like, oh, you're working 2 less hours. Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that. Especially considering that I'm looking at those 2 hours as being the hours between 3 and 5. And I'm not doing anything productive during 3 and 5. I don't have much opportunity to do anything in between 3 and 5. Oh, why don't you sleep? Because I don't sleep at night. Because I'm a nocturnal person. No, I can't sleep at night. I mean, I try. If I do, it's not good sleep. Those are just painful, lonely hours for me. Those are the hours where the demons tell me that my life isn't worth living anymore, because look how miserable and alone I am. Why am I still here? Those are the hours when those voices are coming in. Those are the hours where I'm so lonely and physically unhappy with my complete lack of intimacy and physical love life that I'm tempted to go comb through homeless camps and find a horny junkie or find a hooker, and that's not something that I need. It's just not. That's not a good thing. But it's just downtime. So I really do need to be looking for another job. I think that's the bottom line there. I mean, I know there's I need to be making more headway at my debt, and as opposed to being in a work environment where, even though theoretically I'm making more money, and in terms of my hourly wage I'm making more money, the reality is that I'm making less money, and then of course add in what this commute is costing me with all the gas that I'm burning, and then the potential risk to my car, because it seems like every day, no matter what, my car comes really close to overheating on the way home, and that's fucking scary. And I'm just looking towards hotter summer, and yeah, I'm bummed, because the job itself, I love the job, but yeah, I feel like at this point I really need to look for something else. So I didn't manage to talk about what's going on with Priscilla at all. I'll get to it. It's I want to say it's more of the same, but actually it's a little bit of what I wanted, but resulting in more of the same and disappointment. And I'll be back to explain more about that after I go in here to Skipper's and sing some karaoke, and maybe meet someone female who's looking for some physical companion. Not really holding my breath for that at this place, though. Wow, look, there goes another vehicle. You'll see it, another vehicle on 43rd Avenue with no lights on. You can see the blinker, the left blinker, with no taillights, no headlights. That's probably too far distance for y'all to see it. It just amazes me how many people drive around with no headlights in this city. It's fucking unreal. And welcome back. It's still Wednesday night, technically Thursday morning, 12:11 a.m. Normally, if I come all the way out to this bar, I hang out till the end of the night, but I don't know that I could be feeling the crowd, much less. I don't know. I don't even want to really blah. It's just, I don't know. The bottom line is, I guess I'm just looking to hook up, you know? I mean, that used to be something that I never had problem doing in a karaoke bar. I mean, when I was in my late 30s, early 30s, I was married. And it took me quite a while to recover from my divorce to the point where I could kind of go out and have a life. But once I got to that point, mid-30s, it was like clockwork. Like I went out to a karaoke bar, I sang, women would flirt with me. I mean, I'm not gonna say I hooked up every single night I went out, but it was pretty consistent. And of course, that's around the time I started hosting. So, I mean, I was hooking up with women at my shows, hooking up with women at other people's shows. Had a pretty steady stream of booty calls and you know, people that I could shoot a text to that might be interested. I mean, it was had a and if all else fails, there was always Lily's mom. But yeah, apparently I'm too old or pathetic at this point to make that work, which is really frustrating. So, as I mentioned earlier, Priscilla completely fucking got my hopes up and let me down again. And I should know, like, I've just been completely fucking ignoring her for a good solid 2 weeks, with occasionally responding to something that she might post that was just interesting, that wasn't revolving around, oh, you need to let me visit my babies. Fucking real. Or, you know, occasionally she'd comment on something just completely unrelated, something in the news or something, you know, video or something. I can comment on it a little bit. Anyway, I've been saying for months that is one thing that she should, if she really wants me to be involved with her, you know, like, has been best for me, and that's sex. I've been very vocal. That's what I need. That's what I need from her, above and beyond everything else. Like if that's in place, like everything else will maybe kind of fall into place. But if that's without that, it's kind of like a car with no wheels. It doesn't matter what all else the car has going for it. If there's no wheels, it ain't going anywhere. And yeah. Been a long time since I've driven down this stretch of Maryland. I don't recall it having bike lanes or speed bumps. I just feel like doing a back road, and I'm sure there's much to see. It's kind of dark. It's just one of the residential streets, but anyway, change of routes. Very close to where a friends of mine live that I lost touch with a couple of years ago. Vicky, and God, now I forget her husband's name. It's terrible. Yeah, pretty much let most of my friends fall through the cracks at this point. That's probably why I'm alone most of the time. Dig those antenna towers on the left. I don't know what radio station that is, but that's an AM tower, right? I know this stuff from my days of working in broadcasting. I miss working in broadcasting. Anyway, trying to focus on where I was with Priscilla. So anyway, that's what I've been saying she should lead with. And of course, she's been completely the other way around. I'm like, I don't. Oh, I care about you, but I just don't feel the way you're treating me, blah, blah, blah. I just don't want to have sex with you. I'm like, well, you care about me. I've made it pretty clear, like, there's one thing that I need from you. And, like, if you're not able to take care of that, just fucking just leave me the fuck alone. Just you're not part of that solution. If you're not a part of that solution, then you are the problem. Because you've got me to the point where I'm out looking for it elsewhere, and I'm not really happy looking out for it elsewhere, and I'm also not having much success looking out for it elsewhere. So there's that. But hey, I'm on 27th Avenue now. There's always love for sale on 27th Avenue. Not that I have money for that sort of thing. I think I probably have. What have I got in my pocket here? I might have a $20 bill. I do have 23 bucks. It doesn't go far with working ladies on although I have occasionally gotten lucky with women like that just because they found me attractive or desirable, which is kind of a weird thing, but that don't even work for me anymore. They're Bullocks. I should swing by Bullocks and see if Gary's still there. Anyway, I was gonna say what happened with Priscilla, but I didn't see any hookers over here. Oh no, there's one on the left. Oh yeah, she's looking good. Just one though. Damn, your light's bright enough? God damn. There needs to be some legislation on how piercingly bright lights can be, because there's way too many that are just to the point they blind people. I've seen videos about it. Like it's an issue. It doesn't make the if you're blinding oncoming drivers, you're not making the road safer. That looks like a working girl walking over here. That's whoa. That looks like somebody I know from. Oh no, it's not. I'll just go work in an odd place. Wow, there's one right there on the left too. I'm not used to seeing them down here deep into the neighborhood. That's random. That's not what I went down the street for. I was just looking to go over to Bullock's and see what's happening at Bullock's. And I said I was going to see what's going on with Priscilla. We're saving that to the next video. Yeah, I guess we're saving it to the next video. Next segment of the video, anyway. But in a nutshell, she did the one thing. Did the one thing I'm saying that she should do. That would actually get me to want to respond to her. Which isn't begging me to come see the cats, by the way. It's like the absolute worst things you can do. No, she, and it was actually yesterday at, I want to say about 10 p.m. It was while I was shooting the extended video. You know, it's actually when I went to the grocery store. Because I shot video yesterday, and I went to the grocery store, and then came home, and I thought I had I thought I'd broken my fucking iPhone again, and it just turns out I broke this cord. I broke a cord. I should bring my cord in with me, by the way. I broke my new USB-C to lightning cable that I just bought at Ross last week. Broke that, but I thought I had destroyed the fucking charging port of my iPhone, so. And then all the other things have been going wrong this week, and it just all kind of came together, and I just had a bit of a meltdown in the car. And it was during that time that she actually sexted me on Snapchat. Now, I didn't know that at that time. I came in, saw that she had left a chat and left a snap. Snap being, a picture or a short video, and for those not familiar with Snapchat, and a message just being like text. And I looked at that, and I didn't even open it. Didn't even open it because, as I mentioned earlier, whenever you actually look at a conversation with somebody, it will, if they've got the default, unless they've disabled it, and most people don't, a little pop-up push-through message will come on saying that somebody such and so is typing. Like, it does stuff to let you know that they're looking at your conversation, which I don't like that. I wish there was some way I could disable it to where it just doesn't share that information. Because I know with like iOS, I think even with Android at this point, like you can set it up to where it'll let people know like when you've read their messages. And I, generally speaking, always disable that. Because I don't want people to know when and if I get around to reading their messages. I prefer to just let them leave in suspense. You've sent it out there. I respond when I respond, if I respond. That's just kind of, I feel anything more is just letting people know too much. Letting people know too much. Saying. And she, so anyway, I know that if I open it, even if I don't respond, like, she's gonna get a push through. She didn't know that I looked at it. And at this point, I'm wanting, the message I've been trying to send to her is just that I'm done. I'm not even, maybe I'm looking at your stuff, maybe I'm not, probably not. With Snapchat, like, I know she's gonna get a push through showing. I kind of, the message the one I'm wanting her to see is that, yeah, I eventually look at it hours later at some middle of the night, wee hours of the morning, when you're sound asleep. I get bored enough to look at that, and then I don't respond. That's kind of what I've been trying to send her way with the messages she sends on Snapchat. Not responding to anything. Well, I was kind of, so of course I looked at it, saw it, was whatever. And then I had such a meltdown last night in the car after I got back from the grocery store that I ended up not going anywhere. Like, I was planning on going out to Bunkhouse. I was planning on going out to sing karaoke down the street at Dirty Drummer. That's kind of been my regular Tuesday spot since I've not been working at night at Amazon. And just kind of decided against all of that. And well, I was just in such a bad frame of mind. It was like, no, you don't want to be around people. I just want to lay down. And I tried to get some more sleep, and I did get some more sleep, but not much. It was kind of erratic. Edited a bit of video, but mostly just kind of listened to some of my old vlogs and added a little bit more to the descriptions, which I'm always trying to do. Please read them. Like sometimes there's links to stuff that I talk about, and at the very least it'll have the date and the time and just the basics on what camera I used and what I did with the video, which is not much, and I suppose nobody cares, but it just makes me feel good to document that. Anyway, so I see those messages. I'm not even wanting to look at them. I'm just so completely frustrated with her. So much to my surprise, I finally check it at about 3:45 as it's like, yeah, it's time to get up. It's time to go to the new job. I hate the schedule of the new job. Love the job itself. Hate the schedule, hate the location, hate the commute. And also hate the fact that, in spite of the fact it pays more per hour, I am making less money than I was at Amazon. Because I wasn't making enough money to take care of what I needed to take care of at Amazon. Oh, there's a little black stray kitty coming over here to me. He's looking at me. Hello, stray cats. They're looking at me funny. Oh, wait, no. That's a shadow that my whacked vision thought was a black cat. Jesus Christ. Yeah, I've lived past my expiration date. There's no denying that at this point. I wanted to see a cat. I'm just seeing a shadow of a chunk of cement. Damn. So anyway, where was I? So I decided to finally look at it, and I expect to see this be more of the same old bullshit. And I was kind of surprised to see, and the bummer is I was running Snapchat. I bounced back and forth between my different devices. Just, whichever one is more convenient at the time. Still don't have service on Obama Phone 4. Mostly I'm just using the iPhone 6s Plus and the Obama Phone 4. I still haven't heard back from AZ Cell Phones. Don't know what the fuck's going on with the Obama Phone 3. That's frustrating. I've pretty much decided I'm not doing jack shit to try to get Brittany's number back. I've probably waited too long anyway. Although I noticed in my spam folder on Gmail there was some messages from T-Mobile about it. I don't understand why fucking Gmail would put that in my spam. That's pretty important fucking shit. Meanwhile, I get spam in my inbox all the time. Like, seriously, I'm not trying to get a settlement over bad water at Camp Lejeune. Like, why can't the algorithm see that that's obvious spam? And why are they even sending that to me? It's ridiculous. Anyhow, so I look at it, and she, sexted me. Nice, close crop shot of her goodies, and I still like that. I still want that. I'm not denying that in the slightest. And one of the things that I really hate about Obama Phone 4, and I've talked numerous times about just this is it. That's it right there. It's an ANS fucking piece of shit. That thing. In fact, a new problem I've been having with it, I've noticed the last few segments of video that I've shot with it, I get this weird glare. So the cover of, like, on the back, the cover right there of the main camera, which of course is only one camera, whatever, it's older, it's to be expected. One camera should be enough anyway. Oh, and you got your flashlight there. Anyway, this cover is not glass. Like on most decent phones, that's a small piece of glass. It's not glass, it's fucking plastic, and it's cheap ass plastic. And somehow something is rubbed against it and put a crease in it. So I've been trying to figure out where this weird glare is coming from, and it's just light reflecting on that. I don't even know if that's fixable, but wow. That fucking sucks. Device is a complete fucking piece of shit anyway, is what it is. So, I'm eager to get Obama Phone 3 back. That Revel 4 was a surprisingly decent mobile phone for like a budget freebie government phone. It's a decent phone. Like, I would consider actually buying one of those. In fact, I've already paid AZ cell phones more money to put a new screen on my old one than it would cost to buy a used unlocked one in pristine condition. Like, substantially more. So I look and it's like, oh, damn, she's finally sending me some of that. That's what I've been thinking she should be leading with all the time. Like, you know, don't fucking talk to me about a bunch of shit I don't want to fucking deal with. Show me puss ass and titties. That's what I want to see. Oh God, I just looked over on the shadow, looked like a cat again. Oh, I don't know why I'm seeing that every time I look over there. So anyway, yeah, that's what I want to see, and finally I'm seeing that. Not like I don't have loads and 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 loads of naked pictures and home adult video that we've made together, but always nice to get some more. That supply has been cut off. And I opened it, I was like, whoa, that's what I've been waiting for. And then it's kind of funny, it's like, well, I've ignored her so long, and finally I get that. Like that's what it is to take us 2 weeks of me completely ignoring her to finally for her to realize that's what gets my attention. That's what I like. She should know that's what I like. Why make me wait like that? Anyway, of all the many flaws of Obama Phone 4, the ANS piece of shit, whatever the fuck it's called, I've figured out no way to do a screenshot on the thing. All the things that I know that work to do a screenshot with an Android phone don't work on that phone. Like, all the places where newer Androids I have will have a thing that you hit and bring a menu option for a screenshot. It's just disabled on that phone. If there's a way to do a screenshot on that phone, I've not been able to find it. Which is frustrating, because I like taking screenshots and stuff. Now, I know anytime I take a screenshot of something on Snapchat, it will send a message to the person letting them know, hey, he screenshotted your whatever, which I don't worry about that. Like, generally speaking, when I do screenshots of stuff on Snapchat, it's somebody sent a funny picture or a meme or something, and it kind of tells somebody, like, yeah, whatever you sent was funny enough to me, I felt the need to save it, you know. I did follow this chick that puts porn in different various places. She was getting mad. She actually ended up shutting down her Snapchat because she's like, no making screenshots. And of course people kept doing it, because what you gonna do about it? I say, you put explicit pictures on your Snapchat and I saved it. And what are you gonna do? You keep me off your Snapchat? Whatever, I got the pictures. I'll follow you somewhere else or create another account and follow you again. Like, you're doing porn for a living. People are gonna fucking save pictures of it. Deal with it. I'm not talking about Priscilla. I'm talking about oh God, something Lemonade. I don't know. I've been following her for a while. She's an interesting character, and I enjoy the pictures. So yeah, I couldn't do the screenshot. I'm like, well, shit. So of course I immediately looked at it again. Because I wanted to look at that again. I haven't seen that in a while, you know, other than old pictures. I've seen a new picture. I haven't seen her in a couple weeks, over 2 weeks. And haven't seen her naked much longer than that. So I didn't respond to that. I didn't. But of course, she surely got pop-ups showing, you know, what will be time-stamped on her phone, showing what time I looked at it. And that time being around 4 in the morning. So, at that point, I don't have much time to do anything else. Like, I'm getting ready for work. But when I went to work, when I came on my first break, of course, I'm thinking about that. Oh, and the text message was just like, I'm horny. That's pretty much all it said. I'm horny. Really? Because I've been telling you that for like 2 fucking months, and you haven't cared. Now, like 2 months later, now you're finally horny? And I'm frustrated, because it's like, really? You want me to respond to you when you're horny, but when I tell you I'm horny, you don't give a fuck. This needs to be a two-way satisfying of each other's needs. But of course, part of me is still ready to take care of that, because I'm kind of just doing without at this point and need something. So, yeah. Get the, I just wanted to save this picture. I just really want to save this goddamn picture. And so I log on to Snapchat at work on my first break. And it's a real struggle to do anything with my phone at work, because they don't have Wi-Fi for employees. To me, that's a pretty big deal. To other people, it probably doesn't matter, but that's a pretty big deal to me as a work benefit. Like, how much is that worth per hour? Would I be willing to take a job that pays 50 cents less an hour if I can have access to Wi-Fi, like when I'm working and on my breaks? Yeah, probably I would be. Having access to Wi-Fi is a big deal, especially when my 4G coverage is so bad that half the time it says I have no service, and the other half of the time I have one bar and things time out and just don't work. So yeah, at least give me some Wi-Fi to compensate for the fact that you're located in this shitty fucking way in the middle of fucking nowhere location where I don't get fucking cell service on the T-Mobile network. I know some of my coworkers are getting cell service just fine, but they're probably not on T-Mobile or subsidiary of T-Mobile. I'm using Mint Mobile, which is subleased on T-Mobile. As was Assurance Wireless. Assurance Wireless actually operated by T-Mobile. I definitely am a second-class customer, and I feel it sometimes on the T-Mobile network with Mint. Not as bad as like how the crap service I would get with Assurance, which is actually operated by T-Mobile. It was frightening. Like, whenever the network would get busy, I'd find myself dropping to 2G coverage, which is like 2G coverage. All right, I can open text, email, and read the text part of websites. Forget about doing anything resembling multimedia. There will be no video streaming, and any fucking pictures are gonna load real slow. All right, what the fuck is that? Another bum with a fucking stolen shopping cart. I really want the police to start enforcing Arizona's shopping cart laws. It is illegal to steal a shopping cart. It is illegal to be in possession of a shopping cart, of a stolen shopping cart. That's supposed to be a citation, and I think that's an arrestable thing. Why isn't that enforced? That would really curb a lot of this. Yeah, I get on my first break, and I'm trying really hard to get that to load on my iPhone, so I can do a screen capture of it, save that picture for later, and add it to the collection. And apparently, like, she's got it configured to where I can only, or maybe that's a normal thing, I can only view it twice. And I viewed it twice on Obama Phone 4 where I couldn't do a screen capture of it. Whoops. And so of course, every time I'm trying to look at it, and I did this during my first break and during my lunch, and it is like, how many push through messages as a result of that did she get that I'm saying I'm typing? I think it says I'm typing, which is I'm not typing, but that's what the push-through message says. So after her getting hardly any push-through messages whatsoever, of just me not responding to me, her occasionally, like hours later after she sends me a snap, like I just one quick looked and I didn't respond. I'm typing. No, I'm not typing. I didn't respond. That just means I looked at it. And suddenly I'm looking a lot. Like she sent me a picture of her junk, and I'm looking at that a lot. Well, yeah, okay, she knows I like looking at that. Whatever. And I forget what she messaged. Maybe it's still in my Snapchat. Maybe I can still look. I think I got my Snapchat on Obama Phone 4 right now. I seem to be on Wi-Fi, but I don't have much coverage. Oh, nope, I'm logged in on the iPhone. Let me log in on Obama Phone 4. I'm barely getting Wi-Fi, so it might not work at all. Yeah, this isn't looking very promising. What Wi-Fi am I on anyway? Bullnet. On Bullock's Wi-Fi. I'm on the wrong side of the wall, so it's just not. It's good to know that Wi-Fi's still working and still apparently connects. Oh, no, I am connected, apparently. Wonder how much of that chat dialogue got saved. Quite a bit of it, actually. I think it's saved for 20. Anyway, yeah, but 10:01 a.m., so that would have been after my lunch, after numerous, typing. Yeah, that's the only thing she sent. She sent the picture, and then she sent, just said, I'm horny. That was like last night at like 9:30 p.m., which of course I don't look at it until 4 a.m. because I'm just so wanting to be over that. And And then she sent a text at like 10 a.m. So after my lunch break and after, but I mean, between 9, God knows how many pop-ups I sent between 9 and 9:30 as I kept trying to look at that and save it and realizing, oh, I only get 2 peeks of that and I did it on a phone. I can't do a screen capture. But sure, you want to come and sleep with me tonight? To which I responded on my 3rd break. I wrote, kinda. Why kinda? Which of course I couldn't, that came in at 12:25, so I couldn't respond to her again until I got off work. So yeah, 1:39 I sent this, which 1:30 is when my shift ends. So I probably typed this, when I was sitting in my car, in the car and just trying to get the sunshade down and a little air conditioning flowing, whatever. I wrote, would you want me naked in your bed in an hour? I figured it'd take an hour to get there from there. Since I got gas and don't have to deal with the drama trying to fund and stop and get gas and stuff, which is I have to do way too often because I'm driving so fucking far to work. She goes, I don't get, and I'm trying to paraphrasing because there's typos here, but apparently it's too much effort to back up and correct the typos before she hit send. Says, I don't get off work until 6, but sure, if you want to be naked and wait for me to get off, with a little wink, which sounds promising. And I typed, will you put your naked body on my sleeping naked body when you get off work? Because at this point, I'm tired. I'm tired. I'm up all night. Well, slept erratically, naps here and there. But yeah, my work schedule is just hell on me. It does not work with my schedule. I'm a day sleeper, but in the part of the day when I sleep, I'm working and I fucking hate it. And so by the time I get off work, I'm dealing with the worst heat. Well, maybe not the worst heat of the day, but bad heat and bad traffic. And I'm just trying to get home and it takes a long fucking time. And I'm just tired and I need to get in bed and go to bed. But I would love to be naked in her bed and have some assurance that it's not going to be another fucking cock tease and I get disappointed session, but that she's actually going to, and not, oh, you were tired, so I'm going to let you sleep. No, I don't need sleep as much as I need sex, but I'm going to fall asleep before you get off work. So when you get off work, you need to come in and fucking handle that. So that's what I wrote. And I didn't get a response from her by the time I got into our neighborhood. Which just ended up being like an hour and 15 minutes because of traffic. So I'm just like, you know what? I'm not. And I'm thinking about how frustrating it was dealing with her fucking, her gate and her yelling at me because I hopped over the gate because I don't know the fucking code, or I couldn't, even knowing the code, I couldn't get the code to work on that stupid security gate. And of course, all that's saved on my iPhone 7 Plus, so I don't even have that shit anymore. So just, I'm thinking, yeah, I can't even fucking get to her door to knock on her door. I've got no kind of assurance or anything. Just one thing experience with her the last year has taught me is I can expect to be fucking disappointed. I don't even want to get my hopes up. I'm going to be fucking disappointed more likely than not. So, yeah. That time I got across town at probably 2:45. I just, 2:40, whatever. I just went to bed, climbed in bed. And by the time I was in bed, not asleep yet, but I'm just undressed, I'm in bed and I'm comfortable, I get, sorry it's taking me so long to reply, dealing with some legal family stuff. I mean, okay, that's fine. It's something you got to deal with. But I'm expecting an immediate response. This is something, I said at the get-go, naked in your bed in an hour. Well, at this point, that hour, I gave her a cutoff of an hour. You can't respond. When I said in an hour, you can't respond after an hour. That's a limited time offer, and that limited time is an hour. If it takes you longer than an hour to respond, then don't even fucking waste my time. I've already moved on. So when she wrote, sorry it's taking me so long to deal with some family legal stuff, that was at 2:47, 2:56. Letters were sent out regarding my uncle's estate, and there's some inaccuracies. Okay, that's fine. It's not that I don't care about that, but in the moment, right now, I don't care about that. We can talk about that later, but prioritize, you were on an hour schedule and you waited over an hour. At that point, I just went home and went to bed. Fuck it. Sick of the fucking disappointment, sick of the bullshit, sick of you living behind a fucking gate that's difficult for me to get past and then yelling at me when I just fucking go up and over it because it's the only thing that I can count on working to get me past that motherfucker. Like, no. I asked, will you put your naked body on my sleeping naked body when you get off work? Without a solid yes, I promise I will do that. Fuck you. I'd rather go home and fucking masturbate. Straight up. I'd rather cuddle with the goddamn cats. About 4. So of course when I went home, I went to sleep. I slept hard. Like that's my sleep. That's my REM sleep. That's my should be 7 to 8 hours. I'm lucky if I'm getting 4 sleep time because I'm fucking off my schedule. And does she know my schedule right now? No, she doesn't, because we've been pretty out of touch, and I'm just fucking sick of her shit. So I'm not sharing that information with her. About 4 p.m., she goes, breathing heavy. On your way? Like, why are you still, like, I'm not responding to you. I didn't respond to you because I said, look, I needed to, because I said at 1:39 and here in an hour, which means by 2:39, like, you waited too fucking long. And the other thing asking, it was at 2:14. So yeah, by 2:40, it's been too long. Been too long. Even 2:47 was too long. I need to hear back before 2:40. Now, once I'm in my bed, I'm not leaving my bed. Over it. I woke up at like 6:48. Said, sorry, you didn't answer, so I went home and slept because I was exhausted. Now, she could have responded right away, but she didn't. If she responded right away, maybe I'd had a different response, but at 6:48, she didn't respond until 7:32. Wrote, no worries, don't know what your schedule is, had so much going on at one time. Yeah, okay, I woke up at 6:48. I'm not ready to wake up at 6:48. I don't want to be awake at 6:48. I'm just not sleeping very well because fuck this schedule and fuck being so sexually fucking frustrated and fuck that guy that just drove down the street here with their fucking headlights off. So she didn't respond to that until 7:32. So of course by 7:32 I'm already back asleep. No worries, don't know what your schedule is, had so much going on at one time. Well, obviously too much to include me. Don't fucking bother me until you don't have so much going on that you can include me. Because you get my hopes up and you just piss me the fuck off. No worries, don't know what your schedule is, had so much going on at one time, waiting for the property owner to come and change the filters. Al, her brother, calling me about the letter and trying to eat something before my break was over. Kind of figured you're either ignoring me again or was out somewhere. She sent an image of some kind of funky glasses. They somehow made me think of the glasses in The Jerk. Still awake? Guess not. Jumping in the shower and going to bed. Say 8:45. Really? Going to bed at 8:45? Like you're waiting to respond, for me to respond, whatever, you're just going to go to bed? I'm sorry, these messages all came through at 7:32. Really? You going to bed at 7:30? Wow, that's some serious old lady vibes. I need a woman that's still fucking young and sexually active, not an old lady that goes to bed at fucking 7:30. Get fucking real. I woke up at 8:45. I said, I just woke back up. Looks like I missed you. Guess I missed your horny day of the month. Talk to you in July. That woman is just nothing but disappointment to me anymore. Why get my fucking hopes up? Because there's no one else. Because there's really no one else. Except for maybe Natalie. And I know she's fucking smoking G, whatever exactly that is, which I don't want any of that around me. Fuck it. I'm going to go inside and see if Gary's still here at Bullock's. What time is it? Almost 1. 12:49. I wish hookers were in my budget. That would solve a lot of problems if hookers were in my budget. But right now my budget is crashing and burning. And I looked at some of these flood of job offers, that all the push-through messages I had from ZipRecruiter, and there wasn't a single thing that was viable. Everything was I was either unqualified for it, or it was just as awful of a schedule and far away as where I'm at now. Or there was one job that actually was really intriguing to me, and it wasn't too terribly far away. Rebuilding wood pallets, which sounds awesome. They want somebody who's a craftsman that will know how to use power tools and do all this stuff. It's a pretty complicated job, and I'm thinking, God, I would love doing that. And operate a forklift and stack pallets and unload pallets. I'm thinking, God, I love working with wood pallets. That would be amazing. They want somebody with all these skills and all this, like, gonna be a perfectionist at rebuilding pallets. $16 an hour. Motherfucker, you need to pay better than fucking Wendy's pays. If you want somebody to do something that specialized and operate power tools and rebuild pallets and be basically you want a woodworking professional for less than what fast food pays dishwashers? Wow. I'm half tempted to apply and say, I do this job for $25 an hour, but you're not even offering a living wage. If I'm going to be working for wages that equals homelessness, I want to at least work for a restaurant where I'm going to eat. Oh, that's a job I would love. Just saying. But I expect at least $25 an hour for doing that kind of work. And I'm surely not going to do it for 16 an hour. Get fucking real. And the schedule didn't look good either. But anyway. So all in all, that was disappointing. I haven't gone through my full secondary job hunting email and see if there's other stuff, but it was a little disappointing. But yeah, I really need to look for another job. I love the job. I can't emphasize enough. I love the job. I love what I'm doing. But the schedule is awful. And the commute is awful. And it's just fucking up my life trying to be on this schedule. And I'm desperate because I don't want to fucking be homeless. And now I've got an email from Discover Card telling me that I'm over my credit limit and blah, blah, blah. We need $260. I don't have $260. I have enough to get myself a beer, provided they haven't raised the price on beer here too much with the new owners. I'm going to go in. I hope Gary's here. And I really, really hope it's some woman that was here when I was doing karaoke that I find moderately attractive will be excited to see me. Enough excited to see me she wants to get kind of physical. That's what I'm hoping for. I know. It's way too much to hope for.